On day 17 of this West Asia war, more than 2,350 people have died. Missiles, drones, and airstrikes still continue across the region, but something unusual is happening in the last few days, and that is America's closest allies have decided to pull back. Right now, the United States is carrying out a major military campaign against Iran after strikes on oil infrastructure. Israel is firmly backing Washington, or the other way around. Both Israel and United States are collectively fighting this war against Iran. But many allies are now deciding to pull back, allies of the United States and Israel. Something that is very unusual in wars that have been led by the United States in the past. President Donald Trump has asked allies now to send naval ships to protect vessels moving through the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has right now a chokehold of. In fact, the narrow sea route, that is, through which a large part of the world's oil passes, Iran has blocked it off. And Trump says countries that depend on this route should help protect it. He says it's only appropriate that people who are the beneficiaries of the Strait of Hormuz will help to make sure nothing bad happens there. Well, Trump has also reminded NATO allies that the US supported them during the Ukraine war, and now it expects them to stand with America on this. But many allies are now pulling back, saying no or staying cautious. In fact, Japan's Prime Minister Sane Takeichi says that Tokyo will not send naval ships because Japan's constitution limits military action overseas. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says Canberra has not even been formally asked to send warships. Reports say the United Kingdom, led by Keir Starmer, is also hesitant to deploy its navy into the Strait of Hormuz. France, Germany, Norway, and South Korea are all holding back too. They fear that the conflict could grow into a much bigger regional war, and this is happening while the battlefield keeps expanding. US fighter jets have reportedly hit targets near Iran's Chabahar Free Trade Zone. Iran has fired its Sejil missile, nicknamed the dancing missile, for the first time in this war. Israel says it has started limited ground operations in southern Lebanon, and a drone attack near Dubai airport briefly shut down flights, disrupting international travel. So we're looking at all the activity happening even on day 17, but allies are being very cautious in involving themselves. In fact, the Gulf countries itself, who are those who are bleeding and bearing the brunt of Iran's aggression at this point, are also not actively involving in this war because they don't want it to be larger than what it already is. They don't want to contribute to this war that could devastate the world economy. So here are US allies, probably for the first time, pulling back. Because in the past wars, like in 2003 Iraq war, United States built large alliances before it actually went into battle. But this time the situation is looking very different. This war largely was a decision of Washington along with Israel, and America along with Israel, well, rather Donald Trump along with Netanyahu. There was no major debate that any of these partners had with the United Nations, and many allies say that they were not properly consulted before these two nations went into war with Iran. The goals of the war is also still unclear, and that is why several countries are now choosing to stay out of this battlefield.
Our powerful military campaign to end the threats posed by the Iranian regime continued in full force over the past few days. They have been literally obliterated. The Air Force is gone. The Navy is gone. Many ships have been sunk. They're warfighting ships, but I guess they didn't know how to use them. And anti-aircraft is decimated. Their radar is gone, and their leaders are gone. Other than that, they're doing quite well. They've been a terror for 47 years, and now I guess the world, through the United States, with the help of Israel, is doing what should have been done many years ago. Should have been done many years ago. Since the beginning of the conflict, we've struck more than 7,000 targets across Iran, and these have been mostly commercial and military targets. We've achieved a 90% reduction in their ballistic missile launches and a 95% reduction in drone attacks. The missiles are trickling in now at very low levels because they don't have too many missiles left. We've also attacked the manufacturing plants, where the places where they manufacture the missiles and the drones. And that's going on today. We just hit 3 of them today. And it's getting very hard for them to manufacture. More than 100 Iranian naval vessels have been sunk or destroyed over the last week and a half. That has to be some kind of a record. Additional strikes continue to launch from all directions every single hour. And as you know, we attacked Carg Island and knocked it literally, destroyed everything on the island except for the area where the oil is. I call it the pipes. We left the pipes. We didn't want to do that, but we will do that. We can do that on 5 minutes' notice. It'll be over. But for purposes of someday rebuilding that country, I guess we did the right thing. But it may not stay that way. Just one simple word, and the pipes will be gone too, but it'll take a long time to rebuild that. We are aggressively dismantling Iran's defense industrial base, and ability to rebuild its missiles and drone capability is getting down to close to zero. And we're hammering their capacity to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, with more than 30 mine-laying ships destroyed. We hit, to the best of our knowledge, all of their mine-laying ships. Now they can put them on other types of ships, I guess, and drop them in. But we don't know that any have even been dropped in. We're not sure that any have been. That's a big negative for them if they do it. It's a form of suicide. But we don't know that they have dropped any in. But we've hit all 30 of their ships and destroyed them. They're all at the bottom of the sea.